No trouble finding it?
No, it's very easy to find.
Well, that's good. I'll just show you. It's very small, but I'll show you what we have. There's the
Very cute.
The treatment office is here, and the treatment room, we have one bed here and another one here. And I'm also renovating upstairs so that when I get really busy, I'll be able to have one upstairs as well. So let's have a seat, and we'll talk about the issue. Now, Peggy actually came a little earlier, and we talked about all the issues that she has, and we did a diagnosis, and we didn't want to do it detailed on camera, but what we're going to do is we're going to go through what we did. And so basically, she came to me with some issues, and the process is we sit down and do our confidentiality form, our consent form. And you've had acupuncture before.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. So you know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, there can be some rash, there can be some bleeding, and
that's very rare, yeah.
Very rare. But so we went through all the things to expect,
Mm-hmm.
and then we talked about the diagnosis. And so we have what's called the 10 questions, which actually is more like 30 questions. And so we talked about everything from head to toe, from her sleep patterns to her stress levels, the environment that she lives and works in. We talked about things like bowel movements, and no one likes to talk about those things. We talked about diet and digestion and all sorts of pain, kind of pain we have.
Which I like you asking me those questions, because I feel more like you're asking for me as an individual, and then, we can sort of work with my complaints as opposed to what everybody else has, because I'm a unique person as everybody else is with my symptoms. And
yes, absolutely. Like you do have a condition that's been diagnosed.
Fibromyalgia.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And you have any other things that go with that make it unique to you?
Environmental illness as well, yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So, Peggy's willing to share that with us, which thank you very much for doing that. It's fibromyalgia and things like chronic fatigue syndrome and multiple sclerosis. There's lots and lots of things that people don't realize that this medicine can really help you with.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you have problems with pain and sleep disorders, anxiety, lots of pain.
Yes, lots of pain. And no energy.
No energy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very typical of fibromyalgia. And there's lots of different patterns in Chinese medicine. For example, we've got dampness, qi stagnation, and that's what makes you feel swollen, makes you feel heavy. And the stagnation and the blood stasis, we call it, actually causes the pain. And that's what's called a full condition. Mm-hmm. And then there's deficiency sides to your conditions in Chinese medicine. You've got maybe liver blood deficiency, nothing to worry about, but it's saying there's some deficiencies. There's dryness.
Right.
There's you feel hot in the afternoon, so there's going to be that empty heat. And what it comes from is when things aren't balanced, you've got your yin and yang. Your yin is your nutrition, your coolness, your fluids, and your yang is your heat and your energy. And so when your yin is low, the yang looks like it's high. It's not really, it's called empty heat. So that causes the flushing and the heat. And when you're dry, it's like trying to float a boat down a river that has very little water in it. Things get stuck.
So that's when I have my flushing, that's what's going on? Okay,
yeah.
So I do have that.
Yeah. And then, because you don't have a lot of energy, the stomach is not going to transform all the fluids like it should. You also need the yang energy to actually move things. So you're going to get the swelling, you're going to get the digestive problems. So those all come from deficiency, the excesses today. So what we did was, so we went through all these questions, and based on what you have, I'm going to come up with a point diagnosis and point prescription for you. And so what I also did was I looked at your tongue, and just show people. So I took a look at your tongue, and you can see that it's a little bit swollen, it has teeth marks, very little coat, and those all things tell me that you've got little energy, you're a little stressed because the red on the end. It's a little shiny, means you've got a deficiency of energy and heat, and very little coat, which are yin deficiencies. So you have all those things on your tongue.
So interesting that you can, by seeing all those things, you can tell that those things are happening to you, which they are.
Yeah, and I don't use just one thing. I use I do the questions, the tongue, and then I'll look at your pulses. This is how we take them. I take there's 3 different levels and 3 different pulses on this side, which would be your lung and your stomach and spleen and kidney yang, and then on the other side would be your liver and your heart and your kidney yin, and I can feel the quality of the pulses. All those things confirm one another. So you don't use any one of these things in isolation. You just look at the whole picture. And so I think today we're going to mostly probably look at both the dampness and we're going to look at the deficiencies.
Okay, that sounds fine.
So what we'll do is we're going to get you to go in the other room. And we'll just take for a moment. We're going to you're going to get organized in the other room. So we'll be with you shortly.
For my shoulders and everything.
So. All right, everyone, we're back, and we just want to make sure Peggy was comfortable. And she asked to be comfortable. She's going to lay there for about 15 or 20 minutes. It's going to take me about 10 minutes to put the needles in. And so we'll start with a little bit of alcohol in some of the spots you need to do. And the alcohol bothers her a bit, so use it to a minimal. Okay. There's going to be some points on the legs. We'll put some music on to make you relax a bit more. Is the alcohol bothering you at all?
No.
You're good?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Put some music on. And, all right. So, I usually start at the top and work my way down. And there's different sizes of needles. I've got many different sizes and different widths. Some are very, very tiny, and some are longer. Most of them are ½ inch long. I've got some that are inch long, and I've got some that are 1.5 inches long. I won't use those today. I'll use the tiny ones today. And they're very hair fine. And so I find different ways. I find both according to the anatomy and according to the size of your finger and your thumb and the size of your hand. And that's what I use for measurement. So. And if there's anything bothers you, you let me know. Just like a little bump there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's bringing the energy up to the top of your body. It's increasing your energy.
It's funny, I can feel that.
Can you feel that? Okay. I always add one for relaxation. There you go. And I like to use the 4 gates, which is famous for pain anywhere in the body. Does it bother you?
No, in the past it has.
Some people, sometimes, are more sensitive to some people than others. Some people don't mind them. And okay. We'll go very slowly. One on the inside here. You have to be careful not to move your hand after this. Now the one on the foot is for the liver, and the one on the hand is the large intestine. But when you put the two together, they start all the chi to move throughout the body, because the liver is in charge of the patency of chi. But it's called the 4 gates, and it's really good for pain anywhere in the body. Now these points on your wrist are good for the liver. It's good for relaxation. It has many, many different benefits. And I'm going to use it in coordination with another point, which is a spleen point, to open up on extraordinary vessels. So I like to use them together. Now, how's that one? For a little bit?
No, just a reflex.
Yes. Okay. Nobody likes them on their feet, but in fact, the most powerful points are the ones on the hands and feet. And this is an important spleen point. So the spleen and stomach is really important for digestion. So speaking of digestion, I'm going to do Zusali, which is like 3 miles, which is stomach 36, which is really good for any type of stomach or digestive issue. And when your digestion is working well, then you're going to get the fluids, and they're going to be transformed. How's that one?
That one hurts a little bit.
Hurts. Okay, we'll take that out. Try that again. Breathe in and breathe out. Still hurt? Better? Okay. How's that? Good. All right. Now I also want to do the leg 3-in meeting point. And it's the size of my hand. It's for the kidney, liver, and spleen mate. And if you have any dryness, this is really good for that. So this is creating a deficiency. Again, this is a basic treatment, just to, we'll focus on some more other things later on.
Okay.
How's that one?
Good.
And I'm feeling for the chi sensation when I touch the needles to see if they grab.
Okay.
Now you said sometimes there's upper dampness, so I'm going to in some heat. So, and of course, the direction I turn the needles makes a difference too, whether I'm tonifying or reducing. And so for the excesses, I'm reducing. That means I turn the needles in a different direction. And to turn down from that, LI11 is LI10. It's really good for any fluids in the upper body. So that's right there. And like I said, I find them by measurement. I find the points by the anatomical locations. And I find them by feel. I can actually feel the points. Sometimes I actually feel a temperature change at the point. And again, I'm measuring according to the size of your thumb along the channel, and I can feel the point right there.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. And it's important to give needles that are going to actually work on the diagnosis, right? So, let's see. Now, for dampness in the lower level, I'm going to use spleen 9. Again, nothing hurts?
No.
No, you feel good. Okay. going to do one on your stomach. I use a little chronometer. It stretches. It's not like a regular ruler. So I'm just going to feel for the top of the pubic bone, which is right there. Measure 5 up to the belly button. And I'm going to move 2 down, right there. Now, how's that one? Rest a little bit?
No,
That's
I
good?
don't have a lot of feeling there.
Okay, all right. Let's see. And I'm also going to need your kidney point that's related to fluids, but also increases the yang. It's kidney 7. Let's do trim up from there. It's right there. And I'm going to do the last 2 points. I'm going to do on the inside of your wrist again. Part 6. Oops, now that one hurt a little bit. Does it still hurt?
Nope.
No, sometimes they do hurt a little bit when they go in,
Yeah.
but it still doesn't hurt now.
Yeah, it hurts a little bit.
Okay, all right, we'll take that one out. The wrist ones can be a little painful. Still?
No, I have a good reflex.
Okay. Here, is that okay with that? And it's not hurting?
No.
Okay. It's important not to move with those.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you're good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're going to leave you for another, say, 15 minutes.
Sure.
And I'm going to go into the other room.
Okay.
Right. Thanks a lot. I'll turn the light off and let you relax a bit.
Okay, thank you.
Down.
We'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, we're back. Peggy's in the other room. She's resting. We're going to leave the needles in for 15 minutes, and meanwhile, I'm going to make my notes about my point prescription. And I'm also going to do a little research on what herbs that she can use. And I have a database that I use. I've already looked at it earlier, but I don't know if you can see over here. But on the side here, I have lots of different herbal formulas. I have 35 different ones. They're ancient formulas. I get the ones that are manufactured by Golden Flower. There's a group in Albuquerque, New Mexico that produces them, and they have really high standards in terms of processing. They check to make sure all the plants are the correct plants, the correct species. They make sure there's no additives, no inclusions, or any things that shouldn't be in them. So they're very safe, very good quality, and they're quite affordable. And it was started by a company, this company called Golden Flower, started by 2 people who are Chinese medicine practitioners who wanted to make sure their patients got formulas and herbs that were safe and really high quality. So I really trust them. And so I have 35 different formulas. And so I'm going to choose one for Peggy. I'll give her a week's supply. And I'm also going to make a few notes about the point prescription. So I'll just get that ready here. It's really important to keep good notes and write down all the points and why you use them and what your treatment strategy is. So. you have that written down. And I'm just going to go over here to my cupboard with all my formulas and choose one for her. So I don't know if you can see them all here. I also have lots of things for pain. I have, for back pain, Post Salon. I have 2 different kinds of tiger balms. I have pain patches that, unlike patches you might get in the drugstore, my patches have actually herbs in them that are healing herbs. I have Zung Gu Shui, which is a healing liniment for sprains and things like that. And I have white flower oil. Lots of people love this. It's good for headaches, and it's good for lots of other things. But what I love most are my formulas. I have formulas on here that a natural antibiotic. I have weight loss, safe, gradual weight loss formulas. I have formulas for every kind of disorder you can think of that you wouldn't even know that Chinese medicine has. And I have a 5 mushroom formula. It's really good for people who have cancer, and it helps build their immunity. It has some really famous mushrooms in it, like Ganoderma. And most of you wouldn't know that these existed, and in fact you can't get these herbs unless you're a licensed practitioner. And so they're quite valuable. This one in particular is called Curcuma longa, and from the name you can tell it's got lots of turmeric in it. And it's really good as an anti-inflammatory. So while she's resting, I'm just going to make up her formula, or dispense her formula, I should say. And the Chinese name is Zhang Huang Wan. Three tabs, 2 times a day. And I'll tell you a bit what's in it. It's quite interesting. Just put this on here. Now, some things you might recognize. It's got, it has the turmeric. Oh, I can't. It's all in Chinese, but it's got lychee berry and a few other things in it. So, anyhow, the cinnamon, ginger. So there's lots of good anti-inflammatory properties in it, and they come as a tablet. So just take this out. So that's a week's supply. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the room and check on her needles. Make sure that they're okay. So I'll just be in the other room. And I'm going to count them and make sure I've got them documented so that when I take them out, I've got them all. So I'm just going to give us a moment. I also need to touch to make sure I'm getting the chi. And sometimes I do that. I'll add a few.
That's pretty cold right there.
Okay, just a few more minutes, okay? Just a few more minutes. So I'm just going to make some more notes. Let me get the papers and then. Hello, I'm just making sure I document everything. I did add that another point, and it's for tendons anywhere in the body. So it's really good in strengthening the tendons, whereas some of the others are for muscles. So I thought I'd better add that one. And I'm just going to leave for a few more minutes. I'm going to write down everything. Make sure I have my notes. So sometimes the needles do hurt. How are you feeling, Peggy?
Oh, I feel good.
Now, you did jump with one of the needles. Sometimes they do hurt a little bit. Can you just explain? It just hurt for a second.
Yeah, just for a second, and then it's totally gone.
And it's gone, yeah.
Yeah.
And so if that happens, it will happen sometimes to the odd one. Sometimes you get 2 or 3 needles, but the others, for the most part, you don't feel anything.
No.
Yeah. And you're feeling relaxed.
I am, and I feel every now and then I'll feel one of them sort of like almost pulsating.
Okay.
And then it will go away, or it'll feel a little bit warm, and then it will go away.
Okay. Now, the fact that she said she feels pulsating or some warmth is a really good sign. And when I'm feeling the needles, I can actually feel what we call the chi sensation, but I feel the tightness, I feel the body grabbing onto them. So quite a few of the needles are really taking well, and so she's getting a good response from them. And so we've basically covered everything from energy to digestion to getting rid of some dampness to tonifying some of the basic organs to moving the chi. We've got moving the chi. And of course, again, this is just the first treatment. I'm going to give her some curcuma longa, and it's 3 tablets twice a day, morning and night. And there's very little drug interaction. These are actually herbs. They're not like a drug. The thing about herbs, they're good for you. Drugs that you may get that are just chemical based are not good for you, but herbs are good for you, and these are nourishing.
Now, should you eat food with them? Or
it doesn't really matter. So first thing in the morning or when you're eating, you can have 3, and they're quite large tablets. Everybody else got to see them. You haven't seen them yet. But they're good for you, and they're nourishing, and they're building, and they're anti-inflammatory. So I went to read the contents on it from my English database, which is not up at the moment. And when I went to read it, it was all the Chinese names. So if I can get the English, I'll actually read you some of the contents of it before you go. So, all right. And so I think we'll probably take the needles out now. Make sure we count them. Again, there might be some bleeding. Start from the top and work the way down. Lots of hair there. We'll look at that when you stand up.
Now I feel them when they come out.
All right, so I'm going to just let Peggy get organized. Maybe if you want to sit up, and I'll see if I can get that one out.
Sure.
Yes. All right, we got it. There we go. So we'll let Peggy get ready, and you'll meet me out in the office area. Great, thank you. Let's finish your treatment, and we need more than one treatment.
Yeah.
So we'll do it every week for a little while.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you these herbs twice a day, 3 in the morning, 3 at night.
Okay.
And I said I was going to tell you what's in them. I'll find my English database. Where are we here? I find it really helpful to put it all in a database so I can look up any particular problems people have. I can actually look up the Chinese pattern, and I can also look up the Western diagnosis. And this one is really good for aiding circulation, invigorates the blood, manages pain, reduces swelling, alleviates allergic reactions, inflammation. It's good for a lot more than just fibromyalgia. It's hepatoprotective, it protects the liver, and it supports the blood. And so what's in it is, like I said, it's a turmeric, Japanese knotweed, ligustrum, there's frankincense, which is quite often used in pain remedies in Chinese medicine. It's got Chinese skullcap, heal-all or self-heal, and we have heal-all that grows on our lawn. So, I mean, we have some of the same species here in North America. Fresh ginger, cinnamon, green tea leaf, tangerine peel, Chinese licorice root, and I don't know what coptis is, coptis rhizome. That's a Chinese herb.
It all sounds delicious.
It's not really. In fact, the Chinese herbs, they used to boil them in like a teapot and you would drink them, and they don't taste very good. So they don't have these. You just swallow them, and you try not to taste them. Some of them, I have to say, these don't taste the greatest. But if you just take a big gulp of water, you should be fine.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's it. Is there you have any other questions for me?
No, I'd like to thank you very much for your help and educating me, and we'll see how this goes. I'm very hopeful.
I've had other people with fibromyalgia who found lots of relief from their symptoms, and sometimes it's more than what I even know. It's good to go away and pay attention now to little things.
I will.
Because we want to measure the improvement as we go, and I can look at your tongue and pulses for improvement, but it's also good to kind of tell me how everything else is going. So pay attention, rest afterwards, drink lots of water, and so we'll see you next week. And I'm really glad that you decided to go public and go on for this. So again, it's Eastern Shore Holistic Acupuncture, and there's tons and tons of conditions I can treat. I love it because often it's good to treat things before they get broken, and it's really good for chronic problems. And again, I've got tons of herbs. I would have liked to probably use moxa on you as well, if the smoke may be a problem. There's lots of things we can do.
Okay,
All right.
Sounds good.
So I'm looking forward to it for next week.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, great, thanks.
Stay tuned for more with Gwen Williams and her patients.